Nicholas wiped the synthetic nutrient paste from his hands, watching Dorothy chase the iridescent butterflies through the biodome's gardens. The 12-year-old girl's laughter echoed across the crystalline walls of the Xantharian colony ship, a sound that had become increasingly rare since her mother's passing 3 years ago. He had taken the job as caretaker aboard the Infinite Meridian for one reason: to give his daughter a future among the stars, away from Earth's overcrowded cities and limited opportunities. The Xantharians had been accommodating hosts, if somewhat condescending. Their four-armed frames and chitinous exterior plates made them appear perpetually armored, and their multifaceted eyes observed everything with an unsettling intensity. But they paid well, and Nicholas had proven himself valuable. Humans possessed an intuitive understanding of biological systems that even the advanced Xantharians found difficult to replicate algorithmically. Dorothy skidded to a halt near the bioluminescent orchids, her face suddenly pale. "Dad!" Nicholas looked up from his tablet to see 3 Xantharian enforcers approaching his daughter. Their uniform markings identified them as security personnel, but something in their jerking movements seemed wrong. Aggressive. "Human juvenile," the lead enforcer clicked in translated speech, his translator device crackling with static. "You have contaminated the sacred garden with your primitive biology. Protocol demands immediate cellular cleansing." Dorothy backed away, her eyes wide. "I didn't touch anything." "Dad said I could look at the butterflies." "Your respiratory emissions are pollution," another enforcer hissed, extending 2 arms toward her. "Come, the procedure is only moderately fatal." Nicholas was already moving. His tablet clattered to the ground as he sprinted across the garden's soft moss floor. Years of working construction on Earth's megastructures had kept him fit, but he had never imagined he would need to fight aboard a peaceful colony ship. "Get away from her!" His voice carried a primal edge that made even the armored aliens hesitate. The lead enforcer turned his bulk toward Nicholas. "Caretaker, this does not concern your duties. The juvenile has violated—" Nicholas didn't let him finish. His fist connected with the enforcer's thorax, right where the chitinous plates separated at the joint. The alien staggered, mandibles clicking in surprise. Humans weren't supposed to be capable of harming Xantharians. Their biology was supposedly too fragile, their strength too limited. But Nicholas had spent 15 years hauling equipment in Earth's 1.2 gravity. The Xantharians evolved on a world with only 0.7 Earth gravity. The second enforcer lunged, all 4 arms extending. Nicholas ducked under the reaching limbs, grabbed 2 of the alien's wrists, and used the creature's own momentum to flip him over his shoulder. The enforcer crashed into a display of phosphorescent fungi with a satisfying crunch. "Dad, behind you!" Dorothy screamed. The third enforcer had drawn some kind of energy baton. Nicholas pivoted, but he was too slow. The weapon crackled toward his chest and stopped. Dorothy had thrown her entire weight against the enforcer's lower arms, disrupting his balance just enough. Nicholas didn't waste the opening. He swept the alien's legs, both pairs, sending him tumbling backward into an irrigation channel. The first enforcer was recovering, reaching for his communication device. Nicholas grabbed a gardening tool, a molecular pruner designed for delicate work, and crushed the communicator with the tool's reinforced handle. "Dorothy, run!" he shouted. "Get to the human quarters and lock the door." But his daughter stood frozen, staring past him. Nicholas turned. The biodome entrance had opened. But instead of more enforcers, a procession of robed Xantharians glided through, their garments marked with symbols Nicholas had never seen. At their center was an individual whose plates gleamed with an unusual amber hue, a color that, according to his limited xenological training, indicated extreme age and authority. The lead enforcer struggled to his feet, clicking frantically. "Elder Council, this human has assaulted—" "Silence!" The amber Xantharian's voice needed no translator. It resonated through the biodome with a harmonic frequency that made the very air shiver. We observed everything through the garden's sensors. Nicholas positioned himself between the delegation and Dorothy, fists still clenched. If this was the end, he would make sure his daughter had time to escape. The elder approached slowly, his multiple eyes focusing on Nicholas with an intensity that felt like physical weight. Then, to Nicholas's complete shock, the ancient being performed what could only be described as a bow. "Caretaker Nicholas of Earth," the elder said, "we apologize for the disgrace brought upon your family by these corrupted enforcers. They have been consuming prohibited neural enhancers, substances that degrade judgment and amplify aggression. Your defense of your offspring demonstrates the principle we Zentharians call Kreshthanan, the sacred right of protection." One of the robed delegates stepped forward, producing a device that scanned the three defeated enforcers. "Confirmed. Neural contamination at 73%. They will face trial and rehabilitation." Nicholas didn't lower his guard. "They threatened my daughter with death." "Indeed," the elder acknowledged, "and you responded as any worthy parent across any species would. More than this, you demonstrated combat capability we did not know humans possessed. Our calculations of human physiology were incomplete." Dorothy peeked around her father's side. "Are we in trouble?" The elder's mandibles curved in what Nicholas had learned to recognize as amusement. "Child, your father has done what three of our enforcers together could not: protect the innocent while exercising restraint. He could have killed them. He chose not to. This is wisdom." The amber Zentharian reached into his robes and withdrew a crystalline token that pulsed with inner light. "Nicholas of Earth, the Council offers you a new position. We require someone to train our security forces in Earth combat techniques and human judgment protocols. Your species' unique evolution in high gravity combined with your social complexity makes you ideal. The compensation would be substantial, enough to establish your daughter at any educational institution in the Alliance." Nicholas glanced down at Dorothy, who was looking up at him with a mixture of pride and lingering fear. He thought about the cramped quarters they shared, about the limited future awaiting them as low-level workers on an alien ship. "What about Dorothy?" he asked. "She comes with me. Anywhere I go, she goes." "Naturally," the elder agreed. "Family bonds are sacred. We would expect nothing less." Dorothy squeezed her father's hand. "Does this mean we get to stay?" Nicholas knelt beside her, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Looks like it, sweetheart. Looks like we're moving up in the universe." The elder's delegation parted, creating a pathway lined with respect. As Nicholas and Dorothy walked through, the ancient Zentharian spoke once more. "Know this, Nicholas of Earth. Today you taught us that strength without compassion is merely violence, but compassion backed by strength is justice. This lesson is why humans will always have a place among the stars." Behind them, the garden's butterflies resumed their dance, indifferent to the violence that had passed and the future that had just begun. And somewhere in the ship's vast computer networks, updated files began propagating throughout the Alliance. Human threat assessment levels required immediate revision, and human judgment protocols were now classified as exemplary across all known species. Dorothy squeezed her father's hand tighter. "Dad, you were amazing." Nicholas smiled, though his hands were still shaking with adrenaline. "I just did what any parent would do, Dorothy. I protected my family." "No," the girl insisted, wise beyond her years. "You showed them what humans can do. You showed them we belong here." And looking at the stars visible through the biodome's transparent ceiling, Nicholas realized his daughter was right. They had found their place among the infinite, not through submission, but through the simple, undeniable strength of human determination. The universe was vast and filled with wonders. But today, it had learned that humanity's greatest wonder was the love of a parent for their child, and the lengths they would go to protect it.